Hi, this is Elaine.Bayless, and I am the voice of reason with Inspire Coaching, helping you create a reality that works. And my blog for the next few weeks is going to be based on John Gottman's book, Why Marriages Succeed or Fail, which I mentioned in last week's post. And we're going to be talking about what Dr. Gottman calls the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And those are four signs that your marriage is heading into trouble. The first horseman, which I'm discussing this week, is criticism. And criticism is something that it's very distinct from complaints or expressing a problem or bringing up an area where you need to do some conflict resolution. Criticism is an attack. It's an attack on your person. And maybe you've heard the phrase, you love the person, but love the sinner and hate the sin. If you run in Christian circles, you've probably heard that phrase. Criticism is not loving the person. What criticism does is it actually communicates to someone, it's not just your behavior that's unacceptable, it's you. It's very blaming, it's general, and it can be very harmful to your relationship. So, something to think about when you're, and the problem with criticism is that it moves, it's this sort of slippery slope because you start out with a valid complaint that needs to be discussed and resolved. And that's what a healthy marriage does. You have complaints, you have concerns, you have miscommunications, you need to air those out and resolve them. And criticism takes that complaint and slides into this attacking area. And what happens is you're overwhelmed, you're tired, you're at the end of your leash, and so you slip into what's easier. And, the example I like to think is, say laundry. Say your spouse decides to do the laundry, puts the whites with the darks, and now you have gray underwear. It's easy the first time to say, thank you so much for doing the laundry. In the future, please remember to take the whites and do them separately. That's a valid complaint. That's a on your way to good conflict resolution. You might call that constructive criticism. But what happens is maybe it's the fifth or sixth time that they've done the laundry and your underwear is now like turning black because they never forget. This person never remembers to put the whites separate. And you're tired and you just say, you can't do laundry. You just can't do laundry. Just stop doing the laundry. Or you say something like, why can you never remember to separate the whites? And so you've now gone from a specific issue to blaming the person. It's now this person's failure to understand how to do laundry that you're criticizing. And that's the negative criticism. And so Dr. Gottman doesn't use criticism in a positive way at all. Now, I know we like to use constructive criticism, but it's important to remember that constructive criticism means that it's going to be specific, it's going to be actionable, and it's not going to be a generalized thing, and the person at the receiving end is not going to feel attacked or belittled. And that's the other thing you need to take responsibility for. It's all very well and good to say, well, I was only trying to help. But if the person who's on the receiving end of your help feels attacked or belittled, you've criticized them. And that's a very negative cycle to get into, because what happens is if you keep taking that easy road out, you're actually going to create this habit of criticism in your marriage. And it's actually going to make it harder for your spouse to hear anything from you and not take it as a personal attack, because they are so used to being attacked that that's what they come to expect from you. So criticism is a very negative habit to get into. Fortunately, this doesn't mean you can't ever have disagreements. It doesn't mean you can't ever have arguments or fights. All it means is that you need to be specific and you need to make sure you're focusing on an action rather than a person or a character trait. So the next time you're frustrated, think before you speak. Use words, be specific. Make sure you're just talking about a specific action. Have examples. And then when you're done, make sure the person that you're talking to doesn't feel hurt or belittled or attacked. Validate that person's worth. They are important to you. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth your time to even have the conversation. So, that's the first horseman of the apocalypse, criticism. We'll be talking about the next 3 over the next 3 weeks. This is Elaine Bayless. I'm the voice of reason. I help you create a reality that works.